Hello, how are you? Welcome to today's YouTube live chat. For those of you that haven't joined us before, my name's Lynsey and I'm from Social Bee and I'm an international digital marketing strategist, and it's really great to have you here. We have lots of people joining these sessions month after month because we want to really share our hints and tips. And that's my commitment to you today, as always. I haven't done one of these for a while, so apologies. Been busy doing lots of other webinars and things, but pleased to be back, and we're trying to make sure that we do one of these once a month to help as many organizations as we can. So what's my commitment to you today? Well, my commitment to you today is to help you through the weird and wonderful world of improving your conversions for your website. Now, it puzzles me greatly that many organizations don't think about improving conversions. They're always asking about sales and always asking about traffic. So feel free to drop any of your questions in the chat. Also free to say hi. Say hi. It'd be lovely to see who's here and where you are in the world. But regardless of where you are in the world, I'm going to share with you some hints and tips about how to not only share some hints and tips in terms of ideas, but what to implement within your organization to really improve your online sales. So first of all, what on earth is conversion rate optimization? I get asked about this an awful lot. Well, what conversion rate optimization is it's a systematic approach to improve the traffic from your website to get them to do something, whether it's signing up to something, whether it's purchasing something. But basically what it's trying to do is take the visitors that you have and get them to do something that you've actually asked them to do. Now, in my eyes, I believe there's three core areas to this. And when it comes to a website, there's only three core areas that you have to really concentrate on. If you don't do any one of these three things, you're not going to generate sales online. So the first thing is traffic. If you don't have traffic on your website, then you are the best looking sweet shop down the quietest street in any town or city. And you can have the best looking website in the world, but if you're not generating traffic to that website, then you're pretty much talking to yourself and selling to yourself, which I don't know about you, might have great products, but you're not going to help generate sales. The second thing, which is what we're going to concentrate on today, is conversions. You can get lots of traffic to your website, but if you're not converting them into inquiries, into sales, then it doesn't matter how much traffic you have. You could be having 1 million visitors a month. If you're not focused on actually converting them into business in some shape or form, then what is the point? The third thing is basket size. Obviously, the more you can increase the basket size by upselling, adding on bundles, getting them to repurchase on a regular basis, that's a fantastic thing as well. So hopefully over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be guiding you on some great hints and tips to help you along that process. So hopefully you have cup of tea. I've got my little Moomin mug here, chocolate biscuit, if you're lucky, and you're not on a diet or not putting on some of that COVID weight, which I have a little bit of that at the moment. And hopefully I can share some hints and tips with you. So there was a big hint I shared with you in terms of explaining what conversion rate optimization was a couple of minutes ago. It's a systematic approach. Now, there's lots of people that will go, oh, my website, if my competitor's doing this, or I think if I made this change, I would generate more sales. They are hunches, they are guesses. There is no systematic approach there whatsoever. Now, you might be very lucky and you might have magicked out some magic way of doing things and generating more sales. But 9 times out of 10, you need to abide by a systematic approach, because when you do things systematically, you can basically tick them off and say, yep, I've improved that, things are working better, or yep, I've ticked that off, things are not working better, I need to try something else. Now, talking of threes, once you've got those three understood, so traffic, conversion optimization, and basket size, once you know that those three things are important, I can then move on to the second set of three things. There's lots of threes today. So just a reminder, say hi in the chat. And if you've got any questions today, I will absolutely take them and answer them for you, because over the next 30 minutes, I want to help you as much as possible, increase as many sales as possible to your website, because you might be getting traffic, but if you're not getting a huge amount of sales, then something's not quite right. So moving on to the next three things, there's three things that I always think help improve conversion rate optimization. First of all is data. If you understand your data and you know your data, you can then use data and insight to make a systematic approach to your website. The second thing is people. We're dealing with people at the end of the day. And as much as we can understand our target audience, we're still dealing with human beings and we never know what they're going to do. But they can still have a big impact. And by understanding them better, asking them questions, using our ears when we're talking to them on the phone or when we're meeting them, when we can meet them face to face, or even looking at the data insight on our website, we can make better decisions. And finally, your website. If you can focus on improving your website and getting solid foundations in place, that will really help improve your conversion rate optimization as well. So let's take a bit of a deeper dive in each one of these, and hopefully they will be able to help you today. Now, first things first, the easiest thing to help your conversion rate optimization is getting your website in order. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean a couple of things. First of all, and one of my amazing colleagues, Paul, would always be a big stickler for this, and we've got some podcasts on it, so do go and have a listen to our podcast on our website, is making sure that your website speed is operating well. Because if your website isn't loading, then you can be driving traffic to your website, but if it doesn't load or if it's really slow to load pages, people will leave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little link in the chat now, and you can all run your website through this. And basically what it does is Google will give you hints and tips, and it will tell you whether it's your desktop or your mobile, some areas that you can improve on your website. So some of this stuff is going to be technical, but it's going to be around load time. It's going to be about compressing some of your images. It's going to be how mobile friendly your website. But that is your first step approach in getting your website in order, because they're the solid foundations that you really need to improve on your website. The second thing about getting your website in order is actually understanding your customers. Now, I'm going to talk more about that when I come on to people, but what you need to also think about is shoppers. Now, I've been doing a few webinars recently around getting your digital shelf ready for Christmas, and there's again, you can have a look at it on our website. It's a free 1-hour training we have at the moment. But think about it. Just put your own customer's shoes on for a couple of minutes. Think about Christmas shopping this year, just as an example. I did a survey with the Christmas shelf audience I had last week, and I said, how many of you have all your gifts in order and you've got your to-do list and you know exactly what you want to buy, and how many really need inspiration? Over 75% of people needed inspiration. Now you're probably thinking, Lynsey, how can I do that? And how can I link to that and make that better conversions for my website? Well, here's a couple of tips for you. First of all, wear your customers' shoes and think about their wants and needs. Too many e-commerce websites really just go in and focus on selling. Now, we do want to sell, but if you think about Christmas just as an example, there's lots of people out there that need inspiration. So creating blog content that is thinking about based on keyword research, again, go and have a listen to my Christmas digital shelf webinar because it'll explain all of that. The second thing is virtual assistants. Whenever I used to go Christmas shopping, I'd sort of have a rough list. I had no idea what I was going to buy for my husband or my dad. They're always hard people to buy for. So I'd just head into the shops and have a mooch around. And normally an assistant would come up to me and say, can I help you, madam? And I'd say, yes, please help me. I've got a very difficult husband to buy for. I've got a very difficult dad. And they would start to ask you questions. So how can you implement that within your website? You can absolutely implement that within your website with live chat. You can book virtual appointments and actually have FaceTime appointments. All of these things are likely to help people to not just visit your website, but get them to spend on your website by being helpful and ultimately spending more on your website as well. The third thing to help people you can do is call to actions. Now, again, thinking about the shopper, there's lots of people that are going on your website, having a look around, looking for inspiration, and they might have found your product or your service. As an example, I was chatting to my sister a little while ago, and she's like, have you ever seen a ceramic and copper insulated mug? And I'm like, no, I've got insulated mugs, but never seen them before. She said, it's amazing. I got given one as an early Christmas present, and it's keeping my drink hot for 8 hours, and it's still boiling hot. I was like, wow, okay, that looks interesting. So where did I go? I went Googling. Now, I had a little bit of intent, but I'm not looking to purchase one today. But had I landed on a website which said we sell insulated ceramic mugs, I might have signed up to their email list. I might have followed them on social media. And that's important in terms of conversion rate optimization, because although conversion is really driven around sale conversion, you can't expect people to come onto your website and always purchase straight away. There's always going to be that percentage that are looking for inspiration or looking for hints and tips and thinking, actually, I really like this website. I'm willing to sign up for them, to send me emails or follow them on social media. So my point here is, in terms of getting your website in order, check out your technical things, and there's a link in the chat here. make sure that you're wearing the customer's shoes and thinking about their wants and needs in any one point in time. So you'll have the people that really want to get through a situation quickly, purchase, bang, and they're through, and we'll come on to more of those later. And then you've got people that need help. So inspirational content, whether it's, videos of how to reviews on things, blog content, 3 great ideas for fathers for Christmas, and then think about the call to actions as well. So thinking about email signups, thinking about social media buttons. Now, you may be thinking, Lynsey, come on, this is straightforward stuff. It is straightforward stuff, but how many of your websites have you checked and done a checklist on this? Because I guarantee if you just make all 3 of those changes and you're getting traffic to your website, you will increase your conversion rate, subject to you having a good product, of course. So for those of you that have just joined us, we are chatting through conversion rate optimization today and chatting through the key systematic approach that you should be adopting. And the fact is that too many organizations are often looking for more traffic rather than thinking, how can I turn the existing traffic I have into more sales? Because if I had an e-commerce website, that's what I'd always be striving for. So my first tip today is getting your website in order. And I've got 3 more tips within that, which I've just shared with you. My second tip today is getting your products in order. Now, some of you may have thousands of products or SKUs. Some of you may have a whole department store and you've got different departments. Some of you may only sell one core product, but it's really, really important for search. So for search engines, whether you're selling on marketplaces or whether you're selling on your own website, and also the customer from their insights in terms of the 5 reasons why they want to buy. It's for a decision process. They want to have a good decision. So looking at certain things, which I'm going to come on to in a moment, ease of purchasing, convenience, assortment, etc., etc. So getting your products in order is absolutely key. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is getting your brilliant basics in order, or what other organizations can sometimes call it is A+ content. So if you have thousands of SKUs, or even if you have quite a lot, what I would suggest is you're not going to be able to do all of this very quickly. You're probably thinking already, Lynsey, we've got thousands of SKUs. I can't possibly do A+ content on all of them. Be here for a month of Sundays. So my core tip for you is pick your top 5 products. So your top 5 products are based on they're purchased a lot and they're also searched on a lot. Pick those top 5 products and there be your power portfolio, and make sure that they have brilliant basics in order. And I'm going to share with you in a minute what those brilliant basics are. If you are a department store or a global organization that sells thousands of products, then put it into segments. So say you're a department store and you have men's department, female department, laundry department. Pick the 5 from each one of those departments and pick those products based on lots of searches and lots of purchases, and also potentially higher profit margins. So you need to think about how to pick that product portfolio. So what are the brilliant basics or the A+ content? First of all, again, this might not sound like rocket science, but I am teaching this stuff practically every day to some of the smallest organizations in the world and some of the biggest organizations in the world, because just by implementing this, you will genuinely help increase your sales online. So the first thing is, in your description on your product, make sure the keywords are in there. So if, for example, you sell calming shower gel and it's a certain milliliter size, make sure that is in there, because making sure you have the keywords in your product is your first step in terms of helping you to be found online, and also from the customer's potential point of view, they can actually see what your product is. The second thing is the description and your bullet points. So again, think about putting your own customer shoes on and wearing your own shoes for a minute, and think about when you're reviewing products, how do you find them? You might find them through search, or you might find them through a marketplace like Amazon. You'll see the key product, think, yep, that's what I want. It's in the right category. There's another tip for you, bonus tip. Then you read the description, don't you? And you might whiz through it and you might read the bullet points. It's not just about describing the product. It's thinking about what problems it helps with, what solutions, ideas, hints and tips. Again, use your customers' language around this. So if you're speaking to your customers and you sell gin, one of my favorite products, then it might say botanical gin, or this great botanical gin is very good with this gin, this tonic or this tonic, or people that love gin, all those types of keywords and descriptions, because we will start to read that content. Now, that content is great for search engines, because search engines could read the description as well as the human beings, and the humans can read it as well. So I always say, if there's a field on a marketplace or on your website, that description, the more you can fill it out, but keyword it naturally, and not just the keyword for the product, but other keywords that people will be searching on, or think about the benefits of why people buy that product. The third thing are the images. Now, when you're looking for something, we always look at images, don't we? So as an example, I was looking for some dinosaur duvet covers the other week. My little boy, who's about to turn 3, I have no idea where the last 3 years have gone, is about to turn 3. Hint in the sentence there. And he loves dinosaurs. T-Rex, Triceratops, Diplodocus, you name it. I'm a bit of a dinosaur expert now. I had no idea what names of dinosaurs were, but thanks to my 3-year-old, he's educating me pretty quickly. Anyway, aside from that, he loves dinosaurs. So I thought, wow, I'd love to get him a dinosaur duvet for Christmas. So what do? Go onto Google, dinosaur duvet. Dunelm comes up a little way down page 1, and I click on their website. Go and have a look. It's a very good A+1 content. Just put in dinosaur duvet cover. You will see that, first of all, it comes up in Google search, but secondly, it's got all the UX in place. So they've really got their website foundations in place. So not only is their website quick to load, but it also tells me from a customer point of view all around the delivery options. So delivery within 24 hours, click and collect, support, extended returns. So look at the top. The other thing when we come on to dinosaur duvets is it says dinosaur duvet in the keyword description. It has lots of words in the actual main body description. But moving on to the images are really important because we're buying now more in the virtual world than ever before. And I was always one to go in a shop, although I work in digital. I know that sounds odd, but I would always go into a shop because that's just me. I can look at the images so I can see the duvet cover in situation. So not just a duvet in a packet, it's actually set up in a bedroom so I can see what it looks like. They've zoomed in and they've actually shown me the dinosaur pictures close up so I can have a look at it. It's reversible, so they've shown me the other side. So images bring it to life, and it's basically taking people into a virtual world. If you're selling products that require scale, then make sure that you have an image of your product. Say it's a Moomin mug, for example. Put someone's hand in it so they can see it to scale how big it is. So that's a really important factor. If you have some video content, then that can be great too. A good example to go and look at is Patagonia. If you have a look at some of their clothing products, they will have a video of someone wearing the item. So you can actually see not just it hanging up on a t-shirt or just this part of a t-shirt, you can actually see them. You can actually see them in the gear and see how it looks, see how it feels, look how it looks like with other items on. The final thing in getting your brilliant basics in order is reviews. How many of you look at reviews before you buy things? Me, no doubt you probably do as well. Now, we're not looking for all 5-star reviews because we know that not everything's perfect. So we know that there will always be some people that aren't happy. But we want to be seeing at least 25 reviews on a product to make it stand out. And the reason is if you are then doing Google shopping or you're offering on a marketplace, if you're looking at reviews, you'll have a quick look. Is there a description? Yeah, I'm going to click on this one. Is there reviews? Yeah, very likely to click on that one. So again, just put your own customer lenses on and look at it from a customer's point of view. Now let's move on to the data. Data is one of my favorite things to talk about, but you have to put it into context as well. But context of people without data is a bit like walking around like this. You're walking around with your eyes closed. Now, it amazes me how many people have Google Analytics installed and they don't go and look at it. It should be your best friend. Now, lots of people are put off from Google Analytics because I've been told by many a person, you need to be a data scientist to go into Google Analytics. Now, I wouldn't disagree with you. So what I say in terms of Google Analytics is go in with a problem. So go in with a question and go and find the answer, because if you go in with no question or no problem, you're going to come out with 110 questions and 110 problems and be none the wiser. So, for example, if you've been spending money on Facebook and you want to see if it's been working, then go into Google Analytics and go, okay, I've spent £50 or maybe £1,000, maybe £10,000 on Facebook. Let me go into Google Analytics and see what it's done and what it hasn't done in terms of increasing sales. One word of warning on Google Analytics is Google Analytics, once it's installed, will track 90% of things. But the biggest thing it won't track unless you've set it up, and I see 99.9% of websites don't do this, is you need to set up your e-commerce tracking. Because if you're not setting up where your sales are coming from, then you can have all the data in the world up to purchase. But if you don't know where people purchased from or how they purchased, what the journey was on, how can you decide where to spend more money or where to spend more time? So data should be your best friend. Make sure Google Analytics is installed and go and have a look at it once a week. Get familiar with it. And again, we do have a free session on it. So if anybody wants a link to it, please drop me an email and I will share it with you. So for those of you that just have joined us today, we are whistle-stop touring through conversion rate optimization. We've already shared a number of hints and tips, and I've got one more area, big important area in terms of the 3 areas that I've been sharing with you in terms of how to improve your conversion rate optimization. And for any of you that have questions, please drop them in the chat. More than happy to take any questions or queries today. So just as a recap, what we have covered so far is there's 3 core areas to increase sales and traffic on your website. You can't do any one of these without the other. One is traffic to your website. Second is conversions. The third is basket size. Now, what we're concentrating on today is conversions, and that needs to be a systematic approach to increasing the conversions on your website. Now, you don't have to generate even more traffic. I would always be thinking, from the traffic I do have, how can I increase the sales of those people, or how can I get them to spend more, or how can I get them to spend more regularly? We then looked at the 3 core areas to help improve CRO. So one was data, one was people, and the third one is website foundations. So I talked you through the website foundations and my hints and tips there. And if you've missed that, you can click rewind once this is published and go and have a look through. The second is getting your products in order. So getting your brilliant basics in order, or A+ content, subject to what you call it, around 5 core products. Your 5 products should be your most searched, purchased, and your most searched on. So that will create your 5 core products. So let's move on to one of the last areas. And again, the most important as well as everything is, but still often missed or not tapped into. And these are the people. People on your website, understanding them and understanding their journey is absolutely critical on your website. Now, here's a stat for you. There's a piece of research out there that 10 people were told to go to a website. So they were basically told to go to this website over here. Excuse me. I think they sell dresses. Let's just call it dresses for argument's sake. So this website sells dresses. They were told to go over to this website that sells dresses. They were told what dress to buy, and they were given the credit card to purchase these dresses as well, this dress. So basically taken away all the boundaries of why they can't purchase. Out of those 10 people, how many of those do you think managed to actually purchase the dress? Out of 10. Have a guess in your head. Feel free to put it in the chat. 2. Now, most people will say, oh, our product's too expensive, or our product was really easy to find. Maybe it's not in season. It's not any of those things. It's about the user experience through your website. The fact that someone was told what to buy on a website, was told where it was, and was given the money. The fact that 8 out of 10 could not get through the website because it was too tricky to get through the purchase process, or the login details were a pain in the bottom, or just the checkout process was a pain in the bum, is why those 8 people didn't purchase. So what is my hint and tip to you today? My hint and tip to you today is go and find a friend, and I'm sure you have lots of friends out there, and get them to have a look at your website. So ring a friend tonight or hang out with them on Zoom and say, I wonder if you can help me. I would like you to tell me how easy it is to find this product on my website. Can you also tell me what my opening times are on my website? Can you also tell me how easy it is to get through my checkout process? Or if you were thinking about buying the product from this website or this website, what one would you go for and why? Use that insight to make systematic improvements to your website. And have a look at Dunelm. Dunelm is not one of our clients, but I think they have a lot of these tick boxes in place, and they're very good in terms of highlighting the stuff that we really need to know as customers. So like you saw with my dinosaur duvet example, as soon as I landed on the website, the banner across the top told me the delivery process. It told me that I've got extended delivery. It's basically taken all of the barriers down for basically to keep me on the website to go, okay, yep, that barrier's down in terms of delivery. I know I can get extended delivery, extended returns, etc. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to look at this product seriously. The description, I found it. Let's have a look at the description, images, reviews, tick, 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 purchase. And if I'm not interested in purchasing right now, then there's a live chat there that I can have a chat with somebody. I can follow them on social media. So if you abide by all of the hints and tips I've shared with you today, I genuinely believe you will increase your conversion rate. Now, conversion rate can be seen like a complicated process, but it's basically following a checklist. and following a systematic approach and measuring everything. Because if you don't measure, then how are you going to know what you've improved or not? So my final wrap-up tip is thinking about making sure you measure where you are at the moment. So go into Google Analytics, see what traffic you're getting, where it's from, and seeing where your conversions are coming from. And as a reminder, conversions aren't just for sales, because if you think about the shopper, we're not always shopping today. We're sometimes looking. So we might be interested in signing up for emails or offers or downloading stuff or signing up to your social media channels. So they're little micro conversions, and you should be measuring them. Measure the micro conversions because it will help you understand better your audience. And then once you've measured all of those, start to make systematic approach differences. So start to make systematic changes and measure the difference every week. So I've shared with you a huge amount of hits and tips today around conversion rate optimization. I really hope it's been really, really useful. If you do want to watch this back, this video will be streamed and sitting on our YouTube channel straight after today's session. So you can record it back and basically follow my hints and tips along the way. But I hope it's been useful for you today. Please do drop us an email or drop us a tweet or an Instagram post. Listen to our blog, podcast content, blog content. There's lots of other hints and tips. And the last thing I'm going to do is I will drop a link into the chat of our Christmas shelf, whole 1 hour training on how to improve sales for Christmas. But thank you so much for listening today. I hope you've enjoyed the session, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Take care. Goodbye.